Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Okay, how y'all doing out there? Hopefully y'all doing okay. If you hear a lot of thundering and stuff, it is thundering outside. Okay, behind this is a window. This is not a backdrop. It's actually a curtain. Okay, but you can pretend that it's a backdrop. All right, so I wanted to make posted a couple of videos or whatever till I can get my Insecure season 4 episode 2 review out. So I thought that I would post a story time. Okay, and so this story time is going to be about the time that I had a stalker. Yes, I had a stalker. All right, now this is a real legit stalker story time, not like the little stalker videos that we used to get from all the story time YouTubers during that period of time on YouTube, with everybody was trying to make some good coin, trying to be a story time YouTuber, and they would post stuff like, oh my gosh, I had a stalker, or oh my gosh, my Uber driver tried to kidnap me, and then you click on the video and you find out that the Uber driver was just returning their purse or their suitcase that they left in their car because they didn't want to get, because they didn't want to go to jail. All right, so with that being said, go ahead and get your snacks, get you something to drink on. I should have got me something to drink on. Get your snacks and sit back, okay? Put some earphones in, stare at the wall if you want to, because it's probably going to be a long story, because this story takes place for over a year. This is like a year's worth of stuff. I mean, I don't think it would be, like I said, this is going to be a legit stalking story, so it would not be a legit stalking story if it only happened within a couple of days, or weeks, or even a couple of months. This took place over a long span of time. So, getting into the story, here we go. This story goes, bear with me now, because this happened a couple of years ago, so the memory's a little foggy here. But it was my junior year of college. I was living in a student apartment. It was the beginning of the school year, so it was like August, and I had an 8 a.m. class. So I'm rushing to my 8 a.m. class. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't care if I look a complete throwed away mess when I'm going to my morning classes, okay? I don't care. As long as I get there, I'm fine. So I was walking past this one apartment building. I had on a bonnet, I had a sweatshirt that didn't match the pants, and I had on pants that didn't match the shoes. I was looking completely and utterly thrown away. So anyway, I'm walking up, and I'm passing these stairs before I get to the parking lot where my car was. And I see this guy, he's on the phone or whatever. I'm not going to tell you no lie. He was a little cute. But, my mind wasn't really on him, especially with me looking the way I was looking, okay? Now, mind you, this guy looked, and I'm not even exaggerating at all. This guy looked almost exactly like Clarence. Like, yes, Queen's Clarence, okay? Just probably like a little bit smaller, like a little bit skinnier. But he had all the tattoos, the beard, and everything. He looked almost exactly like Clarence, okay? So if you're into the Instagram good-looking guy type, then, this was the guy for you. So, with that being said, I'm going to call him Clarence, because it's not because I don't remember his name or I know his name and I'm trying to protect him. Is that I don't think I really know his name. I don't think he ever gave me his real name, but we're going to get into that. So anyway, I'm walking past him, and he's on the phone, and he looks at me real slow. Like, he looks at me, he gives me the kind of look that a guy give a girl who like dressed real cute, and he can kind of see what she's working with in the back. You know what I'm saying? He can see she got a little to her. But that's not me, because like I said, I had on a big old sweatshirt and some ugly sweatpants. Like, I know he didn't see not one curve, not one bump, not one hump. I know he didn't have nothing to look at, but he was looking at me like he saw a whole lot going on. I was just like, lies that I'm feeding myself. I know he ain't looking at me, okay? But anyway, he yells out to me as I walk past, and he's like, hey, how you doing? I was just like, oh. Anyway, I guess I was flattered a little bit, not too much, because honestly, I go by this philosophy in my head. If you know you look, it's nothing wrong with being confident, but women, like, listen, females, if you know you look a hot mess and you have a guy that's just like at you, don't be so quick to be flattered. Like, it's easy for you to be like, oh, he just likes me for who I am. But if you know you look completely thrown away, you have to question his intentions. Like, what is his agenda, okay? Because a guy can see you looking rough, and they'll automatically like equate that to, oh, she just rough looking. That means she's easy. That means her self-esteem is low. That means that she's vulnerable. So that's just something for you guys to think about. No, it's different. Okay, it's different if you have a boyfriend and y'all been together for some years, and then all of a sudden he sees you in a bonnet or whatever the case may be, because he knows what you look like. He knows you can get cute. But a guy who sees you, the first time he sees you, you looking sweaty and crusty, you need to kind of think about that. So anyway, life goes on. I say probably like a few days later, I'm outside and I'm walking my dog, and And I noticed he's with this girl, and she's like standing beside this dog, but he's standing back a little bit. And I assume that they're together. So, and the reason why I assume this is because he was staring at her, and they were staring, like he was standing far back, but he was standing close enough for me to know that they were out there walking the dog together. So I'm outside, and was I walking my dog or was I walking to the car? I really don't remember. I think I had my dog. I was letting her use the bathroom when we was finna go to my car because I was walking towards the parking lot. Because that's where his the apartment building where he stayed in was next to the parking lot. So he steps back and he kind of gives me like a, like he's trying to say hey to me or whatever. And I kind of just, give a slight little wave because I'm not trying to disrespect nobody's relationship or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, cool, so he got a girlfriend, whatever. I don't do that whole, if I know you have a girlfriend, like, forgive me if I didn't know he had a girlfriend and I'm talking to you. But if I know you have a girlfriend, I'm not going to try to talk. I'm not going to talk to you. So it was the end for me. I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. But, that's a done deal for me. You got your old girl. So it is what it is. So life goes on. We skip some time, and it's probably like a couple of weeks later. And I'm walking by his apartment, because over time, just walking past that unit, I start to see her going in and out of the unit as well. And so I figured they lived together in that apartment. Now, these were student apartments, and the way student apartments work is they're kind of like dorm rooms, okay? And so just like dorm rooms, you can have 2 to 4 people living in a dorm room, but it's usually the same sex. So if you see a female walking out of that apartment, it's going to belong to her. Like, I was seeing multiple females walk out of there. So I just figured that female that I saw with him, she lived there and he was living with her, which is this whole thing when you're in college. For some reason, college girls attract guys who like to live off of young college girls. I don't know. That's a video in and of itself. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but I have noticed that. So I was just like, is he living off that poor young girl? That's a shame. So anyway, I walked past the building one day and he's out on the balcony and he actually yells down at me and he's like, hey, when you gonna come talk to me? And so I'm looking at him like, baby, no ma'am, because you got a woman, and apparently you live with the said woman, so leave me out of it. So I keep on walking, I ignore him, and this goes on probably like every other day. Every other day, he just so happens to be out on the balcony yelling down at me, and I'm walking by, acting like I don't see him. I don't hear him, okay? So one day, he's down by his car with some of his homeboys. They all posted up on the hood with nothing to do, nowhere to go, needing to get some business about themselves, but they don't have any. So I'm walking by, whatever the case may be, and I'm just getting off work, so I was exhausted. I wasn't here for the games, but he was just like, hey, let me tell you something, man. You don't never let me, holler at you. When you gonna let me holler at you? I said, listen, I'm not interested. I'm tired. I'm just getting off work, whatever the case may be. He's like, that's cool. But just know this, I bet whatever man got you, he got a good thing. Tell him he real lucky. You real special. I can tell you real special. And as I'm walking away, I'm just like, how you know I'm special? How you know if I got a boyfriend, he has a good thing? Again, but be careful of guys who say you special and it's just something about you. I don't know, it's just something about you. They say all that within knowing you for only a day. Because how do they really know? And I know dang well this brother didn't know. And when I'm walking past him, even while he's talking to me, that's the ultimate, that's rude. That's rude. Is that not rude? I would be offended if I was trying to talk to somebody and they were just walking. I never even stopped to acknowledge you. That's what I did. Because I don't know if his girlfriend is crazy. Okay, she could jump down them stairs and fight me. We all know there's females out there, instead of confronting their man or breaking up with their cheating man, they fight the women instead that the man is putting in the effort to go and cheat with. Okay, and I don't know if she's one of those crazies. So I'm just like, you ain't finna catch me slipping. You out here trying to catcall right in front of your girl's apartment. Like, that's the stupidest, most trifling thing that I have ever seen in my life. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just keep on going. So that's, again, some days pass, and that's how I'm treating him. Again, every time I see him or his homeboys and he's by the car or whatever the case may be, he tries to like touch on my shoulder or try to get me to come to the car. I'm still walking past him. All right, fast forward to One day, he catches me. I'm just standing around, and my dog is using the bathroom. So he finally comes up to me, and he starts talking to me. Now, of course, I can't just skedaddle off like I usually do, because my dog, what I'm supposed to do, pick her up and mid-doo-doo. So I'm sitting there, and I got no choice but to stand there and let her finish doing her business. So he comes up there, and he talks to me. And he's just like, hey man, why you don't never let me talk to you? I be trying to talk to you. I was walking away from me like you got somewhere to go. And I spilled this whole, well, I work and I go to school and yada yada blah blah blah, and I just don't have time to talk and blah blah blah. Mind you, I noticed that he has tattoos all on his neck, on the side of his face. So I really never just looked at him. But, and I'm not judging people who have a body full of tattoos. It's just that, again, the way I think is, if you have a lot of tattoos, I'm talking about tattoos all on your fingers, your neck, and your face, you're either one of three things. You work at a tattoo shop, so it's okay. You're a barber, or you own your own business or something like that. Or three, baby, you've been to prison. Because ain't nobody finna hire nobody who got a lot of neck and face tattoos, or tattoos all on their knuckles, okay? Be it as you may, you can be sleeved up, chest up, back down with tattoos. But all of this covered in tats, you probably ain't never had, what job are you trying to get? The future just doesn't look too bright for you. Unless you, like I said, one of the threes. You're a rapper, I left out rapper. Unless you're a rapper, you own your own you work at a tattoo shop, you own your business, barbershop, whatever the case may be, or 4, you have been in prison. And I was leaning on 4. Here's why. Detective skills going on here. The tattoos were trash. They were garbage. They were very, very bad. They looked like something somebody would do when they're bored in their cell. They just looked really, really bad. No detail, none whatsoever. So I was just like, you been to jail. I knew it. He didn't even tell me. I was just assuming at that point in time, but I was like, he been to jail. So anyway, my dog is done, taking her little, doing what she got to do. So I was like, all right, I got to get back inside because I got to go to work or class later. I don't know if I did at the time, but I really was a busy person at this time when I was living in these apartments. So I picked up my dog and I skedaddled in. Now, again, another night, I'm walking around the apartment. Take my dog for a walk. And I hear some screaming. All right, now I hear distress screaming. But it's a female. It was distress screaming, but it was distress screaming from a female. So I slow my dog down a little bit, and I try to turn my back like I'm watching my dog, but I'm really trying to listen to what's going on in that apartment, like in that little section of the apartment. Well, somebody walks out, and they walk out of old girl, no boy unit, and it's the girl. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. So I'm assuming like the door was open, that's why I was able to hear so well. And she walks out, and you see him trail out behind her, but he's just standing there like really, really calm. And she's screaming, not like a crazy scream, but she's like screaming like she was hurt, like she's like, I couldn't do nothing but feel bad for her. It wasn't no scream like you could tell she was getting on to him, like, how could you cheating on her? It wasn't that type of scream. It was like a like, it was like whimpering, like if you stepped on a dog. Like, I just felt so bad for her. And the way he was standing there very calm, not saying anything, and he was standing with his arms crossed, and his demeanor was giving me, I don't care. Okay, and I could just tell, why I was kind of like looking back, being nosy. I was like, something about that man ain't right. He hurting that girl. I know it. All right. Well, time passes on by. So this guy, again, he's just determined to talk to me. So one day I'm walking, and he catches up with me. And he throws his arm around my shoulder. He's like, man, you really don't ever talk to me and stuff like this, that, and the third. And I was like, listen. I'm just not interested. I'm not interested. And so I walk up the stairs to my unit, and I didn't really notice that he was trailing me. So he finds out what apartment unit I live at. He finds out my specific unit apartment number. So while I'm unlocking my door, before I'm pulling out the keys, I'm about to unlock the door, all of a sudden I hear his voice, and he like, man, so it's really like that? And I slap my neck around like, humble, did you just follow me? Did you just follow me to my apartment unit? Because mind you, he's in a different building in the complex. And the complex was built weird. So the parking lot, like I said, was on the other side. I had to walk a good bit of ways from my specific building to the parking lot. So I could have lived in any other building. So it's like I was still in the safe zone prior to that, you know. So anyway, I'm like, did you just follow me? Like, dang, now you know where I live. And I didn't think that much of it at the time that he knew exactly where I live. But anyway, he was just like, man, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just see something that I like. You seem like a beautiful girl and this, that, and the third. Like I said, you seem special, all that mush mouth typing bullshit. You know, I ain't here for it. So I asked him, I'm just like, listen, don't you got a girlfriend? And he tells me the most gobbledygook mess I've ever heard in my life. He sits up there and he has the nerve to tell me, man, like honestly, we together, but like we ain't together. Like we a thing, but like we ain't a thing. Like, you feel me? Like, she think we're together, but like I can't leave her right now. Like, not right now, but like I ain't with her though. But like I can't leave her right now. And I was just like, what type of crackhead logic? So he keeps going on, and because he sees that I'm just silent, I'm just looking at him. And he's just like, look, man, like I'll never be with a girl and like disrespect her and make her think that I'm with her. Like, she know that I'm kind of like looking for something else, but like I can't leave her right now. Like, I promise you, like when I'm real about something, I'm real about it. When I mean what I mean, I mean what I mean. When I'm with somebody, I'm with somebody. He's insane. You know, that's what I said. I said, oh, he's insane. This man's crazy. This mofo's ill. Okay, so I'm like, okay, well, I dismiss him again. I'm just like, well, if you got a girlfriend, it sounds like you got a girlfriend, so I don't want to talk to you. And so he like, man, whatever. And he walks off. I go into my apartment. Boom. That's the end of the story for a minute. A few months later, I say probably like a month or so later, again, I'm out walking my dog, and I hear screaming again, but this time it's that, boy, I know you, la, 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 la. It's that I'm gonna be on and screaming. That's the type of screaming it is, but it's not the girl though. It's not his girlfriend, the one that I see him with all the time. It's another girl, and all I hear is, put your hands on her, put your hands on her. I swear I'll call the police. Put your hands on her if you want to. I said, I know it. I knew it. I knew I felt bad for that girl. I was like, the only way he could be blatantly trying to catcall on his girlfriend's balcony is if he's mistreating her, he's abusing her, and she's just scared. She may have no like low self-esteem. If she came from an abusive home, she's just like kind of in a weak, vulnerable moment. I'm not gonna call her weak, say she's a weak person, but I could just tell like there's no way she was completely oblivious to it. No way she was completely oblivious to what he was doing, but she was scared of me. I think he was putting her hands on her, and I knew he was crazy. I knew there was something to it. So I was like, okay, he's crazy. He's crazy. So I'm starting to keep my eye on him. Okay, like Joe and what's her name from You, the TV show from Netflix. You know how Joe was stalking his ex Candace, and then it kind of slowly turns the other way around. Now Candace is trying to check for him. Okay, that's kind of how I was. Now, my room, I sat right above the pool. Okay, now, me being nosy, okay, if y'all haven't picked up throughout this story so far, the reason why I'm able to pick up on so much from his apartment building is because I'm nosy. I'm observing, but like I am nosy too. Like, I can observe some stuff, and if I notice more stuff is popping off, I'm gonna hide behind a tree or something. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I'm nosy. But nosiness saves you sometimes, okay? So anyway, when I was bored in bed, sometimes I people watch. Like late at night, some of y'all might be Netflix and chilling. I was looking out the blinds. I was looking out the windows. I'm trying to see what folks doing at the pool. You know, what they got going on with it, you know? So anyway, I was looking at the blinds one day, and I noticed that he was at the pool. And I used to see him at the pool a lot. But one thing that I noticed is, homeboy wore the same white shirt, blue Adidas joggers, and I can't remember the shoes, but the shoes never changed either. A little white shirt that almost was a crop top on him, okay? So it had been washed a few times, a lot of times, okay? Or he wore a tiny little black shirt and like some red Adidas joggers. I noticed that it was either one of the two outfits. It didn't change up too much. I said, you know what? This man probably just been released from prison and really ain't been able to get a job, get a hold to no money, and buy him any real clothes. Because I people watch so much because it entertained me, okay? And I was, say it with me now, nosy, okay? It entertained me so much to look outside that I noticed that whenever he was at the pool, when I first picked it up that day, when I looked outside at the pool or whatever, and it was kind of like a little party, I picked it up every time I would look at the blinds, and he would, because any party that was going on, he didn't have to know the people that was throwing the party at the pool. He would just be there. Him and his homeboys would be there. So anyway, I noticed that, and so I was just kind of like thrown off by that because I was like, you don't have a change, you don't change your clothes. It's kind of, you can't, don't be coming up and throwing your arm around me no more either, because I don't know if them shirts be clean, homeboy. So anyway, let's say I can't put specific dates on this because it went on for so long. But anyway, so one day I was laying in my bed. And I don't think nobody was at the house because I had roommates, but I don't think nobody was in the apartment. It was just me. I'm just laying in the bed or whatever the case may be. And there's a knock on the door. It's like a loud bang. First of all, I'm thinking the doorbell works. It works. Something about knocking startles me. If there's a doorbell, I like doorbells more than I like knocking. It's very much the police open up vibes. I always get that feeling of dread and urgency when I hear knocking. So anyway, I hear knocking at the front door, and I'm just like, I mean, I don't think nobody home, but if somebody home, they can go and get the door, because if it ain't for me, because if it was for me, they would have called. And if it's one of my friends, that I'm not going to the door, because they know better. You don't just walk up on a sis like that. I'm not letting you in, all right? You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. You ain't coming in. You better let me know. So I was like, ain't nobody let me know. So I'm not going to the door. So whoever's at the door, they knock for like another 3 times, I want to say. And nobody goes to the door because, again, I don't know if anybody else is there, but I don't think nobody was there at the time. So tomorrow morning comes. So the next day, I walk into my car, starting my day. And out of nowhere, I hear this voice. So you gonna do me like that? And I'm looking around, I'm like, who is that? Who could that be? I couldn't see nobody. Out walks Clarence. Out of nowhere. I don't know where he was standing. I don't know where he seen me at. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. And he was just like, I came into your door yesterday. Why you didn't let me in? My whole world came crashing down on me. I in my head, I was just like, when did I ever give you permission to no, matter of fact, I didn't say it in my head. I told him that. I was just like, well, I never told you could come over. I didn't know you were coming over. He was just like, and that's the man. I remember he had the nerve to act surprised and then act sad about it. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought it would have been okay. I was like, this again, crazy. I was like, something's wrong. Something is wrong. So putting that together, remembering the screaming that I had walked past twice at the apartment that he stays in, and then the fact that he came and knocked on my door without me even telling him that he could come, and then I'm thinking this, how did he know that I was in my apartment by myself at that time? Like I said, I don't really believe none of my roommates were there. I really believe I was home alone. But either way, even if he didn't know they were there, how did he know that I was there at that time? That's what creeped me out. And I'm kind of glad that none of my other roommates were there and went to the door. Because what if he would have opened the door and was just like, hey, I'm here to see Bree. They want to ask me, hey, Bree, because we weren't close like that. They want to ask me, hey, Bree, girl, is your boyfriend here? They wouldn't have known. And he would have known exactly what room I was staying in there at the same time. So, thank you, God. So, yeah, he never made it to my apartment. After I kind of told him, I never invited you. I don't know why you was even at my door in the first place. And I dismissed myself. I walk off. It happens again. I want to say a few days later, maybe like a week later, there's knocking at my door again. But this time it's like at night. And mind you, my roommates had boyfriend. Well, one had a boyfriend, one had a girlfriend. Okay. They really, I was kind of alone a lot. So again, it scares me to think that how did he know I was alone in the unit at the time? But it also makes me grateful that there wasn't anybody else there to go and answer the door and be like, yeah, come on in, she in her room. I'm glad that that didn't happen either. Nothing else happens in the apartment, because by the time he starts coming to my door and knocking on it through random times of the day, it was towards the end of my lease, and I decided to move out because, side note, if I can digress a little bit, student apartments are a scam. They're a scam. You might as well live in a dorm, because it's basically dorm living. You only get this much space, and like, you got to share the kitchen. You can never put as many groceries and stuff in it, and you're literally paying the amount that you would pay for like a full apartment unit by yourself. So I went back and I lived on campus. Well, the story continues. So I get to campus, and one morning I'm walking into the dining hall. So I'm about to go get some breakfast and study or whatever the case may be. And who do I see but Clarence? Oh, crazy headed. Like, I'm startled. I'm shook to my core, because I'm like, this is the same man that used to just pop up at my room for no reason. And so I see him, and I just, I keep on walking and act like I don't see him. But of course, I knew he had saw me. So I go, and I'm just sitting down at this table in the corner, ducked off. But he finds me, because stalkers, crazy people, they can find it. He's crazy. He's a stalker. So of course he could find me. So he came, and he just sat down. He just sat down in front of me. I was sitting in the booth, and he sat down in front of me, and he was just staring at me. He was just staring at me. And this is when I really got to get a real feel of how psychotic this man was. So he's just staring at me, and I'm playing it nice. So I have this thing about myself. If I feel like I'm in danger, I try to play like I don't feel like I'm in danger. Because for some reason, I feel like if I give on the... if I make that person think that I'm onto them, it may make them act out, or may make them act more irrational if they think that I figured them out. So that way, if I act like I'm oblivious, I can just slide on out, and they, you know what I mean? And just, I don't know. It probably doesn't make much sense to you, but that's kind of how I feel. So anyway, I was just sitting there acting really, really calm. And he was just staring at me. He was like, man, you so beautiful. And I was just like, thanks, I appreciate it. And he's just like, I bet we had some pretty kids. And I was just like, no, I don't think we would, because kids, baby, I won't walk to my mailbox and back to my front door with you, sir. No, ma'am, no hell. So anyway, he was just like, is you fully black? Because the hair, I have a whole lot of hair. Most of it's pinned up because it needs to be washed or whatever the case may be. It's a little grungy or whatever looking. But he was like, you got a lot of hair. You mixed with anything? And I was just like, no, I'm black, baby. I'm just straight black. And he was just like, oh, okay. Because I'm black and Puerto Rican. I said, oh, okay. So after I said, oh, okay, that's cool. Being mixed is supposed to make me go, okay. So after I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he's just like, I'm black and Puerto Rican. And I was like, I heard you. I'm not deaf. I heard you. Son, you're black and Puerto Rican. Okay, and what else? I really feel like he thought that I was supposed to, because I'm dark skinned and I'm just black, just African American, that I was supposed to jump out my panties and be like, oh, okay. Oh, we're going to have some multiracial children. I don't care. You being mixed or white or Mexican does not tickle my pickle. You got to go find you an insecure black. There's plenty of insecure black people out there that just fiends, okay, to wash out their blackness, okay? But I's not one of them, okay? I truly am black and proud, okay? I really do feel like he, for some reason, assumed that maybe I was, vulnerable and insecure or something like that, which is a story for another video. Because I've come across a lot of people who think that just because I'm darker skinned with, kinky hair, this is a braid out. Because I'm darker skinned with kinky hair that, I hate my blackness, and so they have to, butter me up. No, you don't. I'm confident. My self-esteem is high. You don't have to do that. So he goes on and he says, man, I ain't gonna lie. I like you because you make it hard. You hard to get. I ain't never had no girl say no to me. And I was just like, okay, well, yeah. It's a first for everything, ain't it? I forgot how we got on to school, but he had asked me what I was studying, and I told him what degree I was getting or whatever the case may be. And then I asked him, I said, so you go here too? Because you're in the dining hall and you can't get into the dining hall unless you have, you know, a student ID or a student number. And he was just like, nah, I mean, I used to be in school, but I just dropped out. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, what was you going to school for? He said, you want to know what I wanted to do? I wanted to be a doctor. I said, okay, cool. Why don't you, I mean, what, why you ain't gonna be no doctor? He was like, cause I can't do that no more. I can't go be no doctor now. I said, why? Now, it comes out. You ready for it? He's been in jail. I knew it. Somebody hired me as a detective already. I didn't think to ask him why he had went to jail, but did I ask him? I did eventually ask him, but I don't remember if I asked him right then and there at the table because he just kept on talking. Because he was just like, yeah, but it's cool because I'm gonna get my life together right. I'm dropping out of school, but I am gonna go take some truck driving classes. I was like, cool, yeah, that's good. That make a whole lot of money. So I asked him, I said, well, how did you get in here then if you don't go to school here? He was just like, cause I got pulled here. The lady who worked the entryway, she know me. Everybody know me. Cause everybody know I ain't always been the best person. And they see I'm doing better for myself, so they help me out. Mind you, and I'm not gonna go into detail about this, but after I see him in the dining hall, I start to see him a lot in the rec. I see him everywhere because he's a stalker, right? But I start to see him in our rec center, like our gym or whatever the case may be. Again, I don't think nobody in the gym knew him. I don't know how he was getting into these places. Like, this was like a real life episode of You, like how Joe would just get into any place he wanted to or needed to just to spy on Beck. That is the same thing with him. I don't know how he got into every place that I was, but he was there. But I just never felt startled. I never felt like he was the type of person to do anything to me unless I opened him, like I opened myself up to him and I let him in. Like, had I dated him, he probably would have done something to me, but I didn't feel like there was any real fear. Like he would attack me as long as I stayed my distance and I made sure that he just didn't know too much about me. So anyway, so he asked for my number and I'm thinking, okay, this is how I'm gonna get him to get up from my table. So I give him my number, exchange numbers. Now, I'm gonna just say this. So his name is Clarence. I'm gonna say he just for the sake of the story. He introduced himself as Clarence. And that's what he wanted me to put in his phone. But when he texted me, and I ain't never seen this in all my lives of living, and I ain't lived a long life. But when he texted me, a name popped up on my phone, but it was like written in Gmail. It was like ogmacdaddymichael@gmail.com. And I was just like, who's Michael? He just told me his name was Clarence. What? Huh? So anyway, he texted me later on that night and he was just like, so when am I gonna take you out? And I was like, I don't know, I gotta get to know you first. And he was like, well, I want to show you around town, because we already discussed that I was not from that city that I was going to school in at the time. And he was just like, well, I gotta show you around my city, this, that, and the third. How about I pick you up sometime? I was like, no, I gotta get to know you before I ride in before I get in anybody's car. I need to get to know you first. All right, because I don't know you like that. And he was just like, what you want to know? And that's when I took the time to say, hey, about that jail thing, what you go down for? So he tells me, well, that's not something I can text you about. Maybe either I could call you or I had to talk to you about it in person. But I prefer to talk to you in person. And I was just like, no, why can't you just text it to me? Or you could call me, either way. And he was just like, nah, it's just something I feel more comfortable telling you in person. And I was just like, and he pressed the fact that he needed to see me in person. And I was just like, nah, baby, no. You gonna tell me what you did first, what you went to jail for first, okay? Now, mind you, I said I already feel like he was violent towards women. I feel like he was abusing his girlfriend. So he takes it upon himself to say this in the text messages. Don't worry, I didn't go to jail for nothing like rape or nothing like that and with guns. I was like, now hold on a minute, hold on, little boy, hold on now. Ain't nobody said nothing about no raping with guns. Ain't nobody said nothing. You could have said anything. You could have said, I didn't go to jail for theft. I didn't go to jail for paraphernalia. You could have said anything. But what came out of your, well, not out of your mouth, but what you decided to text me was, don't worry, I didn't rape nobody while having a gun on me. You just told on yourself. Because I think that's probably exactly what you did. And I didn't text him no more after that. Of course, I started to see him a lot around campus, and he would just like smile at me like, you know, real creepy like. And I'd make sure to detour. I wouldn't go straight to my dorm room. I didn't want him knocking on my door again. But my thing was this. What would he have done if I would have been naive enough to get into his car? Okay. Because he wanted to talk to me person to person. And what is his real name? To this day, I don't know what his real name is. And I assume, because all my other intuitions were right, my intuition is he didn't give me his real name, and I don't even think that email was his real name, because if I knew his real name, I could go and easily Google it and see if he has been arrested before, how many times he has been arrested, and what did he go down for. So moral of the story is always follow your intuition, follow your gut feeling, okay? And females, don't feel bad about having your reserves about a man. Like, if you feel like that he might be a little crazy, or you don't feel comfortable with his past, you feel like he has a shady past, you feel like he's not telling you everything, listen. Pay attention to the signs. It's not judging. So some people may be judging, but just pay attention to the signs, because you got to protect yourself, okay? There's nothing wrong with protecting yourself. What if I, after having that conversation with him in the dining hall, and him give me this sad story about how he went to jail, but he really was a lost boy that just wanted to be a doctor, and this, that, and the third, and he's trying to do better about himself. What if I would have been like, okay, he's redeemable. He's just a confused, sad soul, and the world is giving up on him. And I would have gotten in the car. I don't know where I would be, because it's obviously that there was something wrong with him, and he had a lot of skeletons in his closet. With that being said, I am going to wrap up this video. It's already a long one. I will see y'all on my next video.